Hey guys, Fuchsia here. So, in today's video, we're going to play a deck that is kind of always existed in some form of fashion in Unlimited. It's Roach Forestcraft. But this time, we're going to play Whirlwind Ranas Roach instead of the classic one. This kind of list is kind of getting popular recently, and the way that it works in Unlimited is that there's so much bounce that you can get the Roach OTK so much faster now. And this deck we built together in our stream in Twitch TV / Fuchsia the Biscuit. Yeah, I changed the handle from Fuchsia _the Biscuit because the underscores were a bit too hard, but yeah, let's try this deck out. It's pretty cool. Hope you enjoy the games. Okay, so the first game I wanted to show was against Shadowcraft. Now Shadowcraft in Unlimited is a bit like Monka-esque. It's a bit scary because like the Atomy deck, it's kind of weak compared to the other deck that Shadow has, but at the same time it's kind of like super scary when Atomy comes down because you can high roll pretty hard with it. As for the other deck, it's like very consistent, Tyrant OTK. Like there's so much card draw in that deck, and even if there's not much card draw, like even if they don't draw the two Atomy, even if they don't draw like two Tyrants or something, they can still plop down like PTP. Anyways, my play is just to bounce the Roach because, to be honest, Atomy, both Atomy and OTK Tyrant doesn't have a lot of interactable stuff on board unless they play a follower in Atomy. But maybe I could have used the Pixie Mischief just to be more like play point efficient there. I decided to save it because I thought this was Atomy and I thought it would be useful for Atomy, but since Atomy is pretty easy to summon in this new deck in Unlimited, I think that was a mistake. Either way, they play a Kesha, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Play the Whirlwind, and I think I just airbound here. Play the Whirlwind again, and then Fairy Torrent. And it's already on 4, so the next time we play it, it'll be on 5, and then it can go face. So here, they play a Gloomy Necromancer, which summons a ghost, and playing another Gloomy Necromancer here. Just to draw Atomy maybe. At least that's what I thought when I was playing this. So yeah, my response, there's two 2/1s on board. So I just decided to bounce this. Play it again. Go face. Bounce it. Play it again. You get the point. Evo face. Tons of damage, and even if they heal even a bit, I still have a lot of bounces in my hand, and a removal option in the Pixie Mischief, so I'm not quite as concerned. So yeah, turn 5 is already almost OTK. Here they play 2 Coffins, and that's a bit scary because they could summon 2 wards with the Zeus. The Zeus and the Rocker here, but unfortunately they miscounted it, and so they board locked themselves by summoning the Lich. It's kind of unfortunate. If they played Atomy here, I would have some trouble because of the wards. Unfortunately for me, they board locked themselves, so I win. Okay, so the second match I wanted to show was against a Forestcraft mirror. Now, to be honest, Forestcraft mirrors can get very scary very fast, since both of you can OTK each other relatively quickly. So it's a bit scary. Either way, still gotta play it out. Going second means that you can't have the OTK, like you have less chances to get the OTK first, but at the same time, you can Evo first, which is an extra bounce. Anyways, I play the Whirlwind Roach here just to like contest their Whirlwind Roach, because I also have the Guard of the Machina Tree, but I Seraphic my Roach just to eliminate it. Fortunately, we can do the same thing. Just Seraphic the Roach. I don't really mind because it's a straight trade, one Roach for another. Either way, they played Eliza here, so they have the advantage because now they have another Roach. Meanwhile, we don't have another Roach. So I decide to just Whispering Woods here to draw. That's it. We can use our Fairy Refuge later. Now here, they obviously have the advantage. Usually this is very close to GG already. Just because their Roach is already going ham now and we don't even have a second Roach. This is what you risk if you try contest their turn 1 Roach with your own Roach. But I still think that's kind of the correct move because if they didn't have Eliza or didn't have a second Roach, they could have still won. It would have been a great move still, I think. Either way, got the Roach, Evo, and then traded into this. Don't really care about the other draw. Just wanted the Evo. Going back. Or even killing kind of does a bit to mitigate their Roach, but it kinda costs a lot, so it's not that useful. In here though, it is kind of useful because now if they go Storm with their Roach, they can only deal 5 damage. Now here they go, finally already got a Storm Roach, and meanwhile our Roach is still at like 2. So this is kinda looking scary already, but because of this, we mitigated to 5, which actually helps a lot. Now here is why you run Fairy Refuge, one of the reasons at least. First I play Roach, of course I bounce it, building my own Roach game plan, and then I play the Roach again. Oh, well first, just to be safe, I played the Fairy's Awakening. Now what this card does is that it, whenever an opponent's follower attacks your face, it deals 1 damage to that follower. And you know how much HP Roach has? 1. So this basically nullifies their Roach unless they Evo it, and they only have 1 Evo point. So this is one of the ways you can win, or at least stall in the mirror match. Here they play the Roach. Pixie Mischief. Of course, Pixie Mischief can't bounce an Amulet. And they know like it's a bit pointless to attack with the Roach, so they play Eliza instead, which is fine with me. Here I can build again on my Roach game plan. Just playing a Roach. Putting a ward just for extra safety for the Roach, because they might have some way of killing me. And of course, locking that in so it can't trade. And Evoing the Roach to go face. And also to bounce it back into my hand. So next turn, we have lethal if they don't have their own Fairy's Awakening. So here, they play a Roach, another Roach, an Airbound. Now one way to win this is like bouncing it enough so that it can gain like 14 damage and kill my face, even without the Evo. But here, we see that it doesn't really go that far. They're literally 1 off. That's kind of unfortunate for them. If they hadn't, but I think that's one of the key reasons why we contest the first Roach. That's just 1 less Roach. Like, if they had that 1 Roach, that 3rd Roach, we would have been dead because that's 1 more damage to our face. So I'm actually happy with contesting the first Roach there. So yeah, here they didn't have their own Fairy's Awakening. So I just win. Attack face, bounce, and we win. With 1 HP to spare. Easy game. here's the next game and the final one for today probably. I'm against Portalcraft, so usually Portalcraft would be like the new top dog, like the modern top dog of Unlimited because of Artifact Portal. So we'll see how that plays out here against our Roach. I keep the Liza just because it's a guaranteed Roach. It's the next best thing to just having a Roach in hand. And we have a lot of bounces, so I'm not too worried about playing it turn 3 anyways. Plus, like, not giving Artifact anything to interact with in the board is also pretty good. So here we see they play a Sinto. Also, Resolve is pretty good for killing amulets, which is pretty important in Portal because their damage mitigation is with an amulet. It's with Nilpotent Entity, I think the name is, yeah. Anyways, they don't play anything turn 3 for some reason, kind of odd. But that gives us the initiative to just play Roach here. Just Fairy Torrent it. In hindsight, the better play probably would have been to Airborne Barrage the 2-1, and then play the Roach, and then like bounce it again with a heal. Because that would have given us an extra bounce. But here, we see they play a Displacer bot, just quite odd. Seeing their rank, they're A rank, so they're not a noob or anything. It's quite surprising for me, which made this match kind of interesting for me. Either way, we still kill that thing. Double Airborne Barrage here. If we used the Airborne Barrage before, we could have still used the Liza to kill that thing. Either way, I end up evoing the Roach here. And Liza goes face. Roach goes back in hand. The good thing about having another Liza is that we can get another Roach just for the OTK there. Playing 2 Acceleradiums is kind of like Pepega, but it gives them a lot of like play point of generation, I guess. The problem is they don't have an augmentation bestowal. So without a board to trade into, they can't really do anything. So they just draw. They choose to like get some resources here. Fair enough. Here we get another bounce though, which is amazing for us. So I just bounce this. And I decide to play the Roach again. Why not? It goes face. Bounce it. Once again. Play it, evo. And then goes face again. So you don't actually have to, even though this is an OTK deck, you don't actually have to OTK them. Like, you can still keep bouncing them and keep hitting face until they lose. It's not like you have to do it all in one turn. Like the old Roach. The old Roach, you had to like play a bajillion cards on one turn in order to OTK them. I think that's why this Roach is kind of more powerful too. Anyway, Artifact doing Artifact things. Just spamming their artifacts here. Playing Artifact Call, trading. Good thing we didn't have too much to trade with. And here comes the Nilpotent Entity. So this card basically makes them only able to take 3 damage at a time. But unfortunately for them, we can kill them in a lot of ways here. For one, we can just play a Roach, a Liza. So here's how we can kill them. We can play a Roach, deal 3 damage, play a Liza, and then play another Roach for 3 damage. Or we can play a Roach for 3 damage, and then Nature's Guidance, and then play the Roach again for 3 damage. And we can also play Slash of the 1 to kill this, and then play the Roach and kill them. But we can also just Resolve of the Fallen and play the Roach to kill them. Like, you get the point. In this case, I just choose to Resolve the Fallen and just kill them. No need to BM. So yeah, Roach. Pretty good. Especially in Unlimited. Alright guys, so that was Roach Forestcraft. So it's a I would call it a pretty fun deck, mostly because I like kind of like more passive passive playing styles where you just play your own game and react to them accordingly in order to further your own game plan and like win. Like that's just the style I like. That's why I like Control Haven and stuff. In this case, there's a lot of bounds that you can spam, which is really fun. Like the only games I lost with this deck was when I just couldn't draw Rhinoceros. Like it was literally in the bottom of my deck, including with my Lysas. Like that was the worst. That was the worst way you could play this deck. Like you could lose very easily if you do that. And there's more bounces than this too. Like there's like Dungeon Crawl Fairy too. So definitely a lot to experiment with in this deck. If you like to like build decks like this with me, for me to like put on YouTube like this, you can join my streams. I usually stream at 8 p.m. UTC 7 or Jakarta time. Usually, I want to have a schedule, but right now it's not set in stone. So just try to catch me there. Follow me on Twitter and join the Fantasy Forest Discord server where we have a section dedicated to Fuchsia the Biscuit. If you want to, and tag yourself the Biscuiteer there if you want to like get updates as fast as you can. And so yeah, guys, that's all I can't speak English. That's all for me now. For now. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you loved the video, give me a sub. And like always, have a nice day.